This is a party political broadcast on behalf of the Tennis is Safe party. Over the past few weeks, we have been working very closely with our think tank and taking advice from SAGE, the Sport, Activity, Games and Exercise Group, as well as regular meetings with COBRA, Come On Britain Roar Again. And from this, we have now developed the start of our manifesto, and we hope that you will join us along this journey. We will look after health. According to research, tennis is the /1 sport for increasing life expectancy. Indeed, it shows that scientifically, playing tennis can extend your life by 9.7 years, which in comparison to things like running and football is massive, as football and running show no significant increase whatsoever. And further research shows you are much less likely to suffer from heart disease and from having a stroke. So by playing tennis, we are protecting the NHS and extending lives. We're looking after the well-being and health of our people. 91% of people that play tennis say it has a positive impact on their life. 64% feel more confident. 60% said that they're happier since they're playing tennis, and 63% of people who play tennis felt they were less isolated, which in this current situation has to be a massive boost for our sport and for people coming into our sport. It is evidential proof of well-being that tennis is good for you and your health. And these statistics have come to us through the scientific research, and we are following the science. We are taking the advice from science, which is saying categorically tennis is safe and tennis is the /1 sport. We're looking at education. Did you know tennis is one of the only sports that maintains social distancing because of the rules of the game? No contact, a net divides us, and due to the nature of the game, virtually never get within 2 meters of each other. Indeed, you can get 55 people on the area of a doubles court and maintain your 2 meters distance. So there is no problem playing tennis if we manage this properly. We can play indoors and outdoors, unlike some other sports which are only indoors or really only outdoors. We can play to any age group within education, even from nursery upwards. And we can work with groups of all sizes, therefore making tennis one of the first choices in our education manifesto. Looking at the finance side, so much borrowing going on at the moment, and tennis has one of the highest numbers of self-employed coaches across all sports. Therefore, with the government initiatives in place, tennis is also drawing more away from the current coffers, and at the same time, we contribute the most as a coaching industry through tax, national insurance, and other fees. So by bringing us back into the business, we are reducing the strain on the government and actually increasing the income for them to support things in other ways. The LTA have done a fantastic job putting £20 million into supporting our industry, £5 million to support coaches and coaching. That is more than the total budget for Spanish tennis for a whole year. So we are in a position to be able to go forward and bounce back as soon as we can. What about our foreign affairs policy? There are already 14 countries in Europe playing, and there are 5 more coming next week. And each one has got its own strategy and its own rules and regulations as to how tennis is safe. And we're working on those to develop one for ourselves here. And also, national events are going to be much more important than international events because we're not going to be able to travel. The European Federation have put in 5 rules which have to be met before international junior tournaments can start. So we're going to have to be much more working with the Home Office to make sure we can take care of tennis in our own country before we start looking abroad. But now is the time for you to stand up and be counted. Now is the time for you to take responsibility for your own coaching, your own business, and your own future. Stand for election. Join the campaign. Tennis is safe. Tennis first. Let's get tennis back on the board. Bounce back. Let's be ready to go when we can. And join the think tank in tennis. Come along with us. Share your ideas. Let's be ready. We are now working with hundreds of coaches to develop these ideas and get tennis back. But let's remember, we're only going to do this when it is safe. We are following policies, we are following procedures. We're not trying to push tennis back before it's safe. But we want tennis to be back as soon as possible, and we want tennis to be the first one back. So come and join us. Join in the vote and join the campaign. But in the meantime, please stay well, stay safe, and take care. Cheers.